Welcome to this presentation by Facilitators Research. This research is distributed exclusively for informational and educational purposes and does not constitute financial, legal, tax, or investment advice. For such services, you may reach out to speak to one of our officers.
Conditions for listing. Section 3.1. Conditions for listing. Section 3.1.1. Conditions for listing 1 of 3. In order to qualify for listing, an issuer shall a. Be a public company registered in terms of the Companies Act, 2011 or be duly registered in terms of the laws of other countries recognized by the MSM and shall conform to its articles of incorporation. B. Either be a parent or subsidiary that has published its financial statements at least once in the last 2 financial years. C. Undertake to comply with MSM listing rules from date of listing. D. Ensure that its directors and senior management have experience for the governance and management of the issuer business. E. Ensure that corporate advisors and key persons will have no conflict of interest. F. Be sponsored by at least one sponsor approved by MSM and licensed by the registrar. H. Give the name, capacity and signatory list of all persons nominated to act as authorized representatives. Section 3.1.1. Conditions for listing 2 of 3. G. Produce and publish consolidated accounts in respect of the issuer and all its subsidiaries. H. Have its financial statements reported on by the auditor and reporting accountant without qualification, disclaimer, or adverse audit opinion. Where an issuer's financial statements have received a qualification, disclaimer, or adverse audit opinion, the MSM will consider exempting the applicant from full compliance on a case-by-case basis. 1. Reflect profitability in the period stated in 3.1.1, b. Above or have a strong potential to be profitable. J. Not be subject to any insolvency or liquidation proceedings. K. Have its securities duly authorized according to the requirements of the applicant's articles of incorporation and have all necessary statutory or other consents. L. Have a minimum of 1 million shares in issue and unconditionally issued. Section 3.1.1. Conditions for listing 3 of 3. M. Have its securities fully paid up, freely transferable and eligible for electronic settlement. N. Apply for listing of the whole class of securities issued or proposed to be issued. O. Have the public holding at least 20% of the number and class of securities in issue or proposed to be issued. P. Have a minimum of 300 ordinary shareholders or 100 preference shareholders and at least 20% of that class of securities in public hands where equity securities are held by an investment entity. Every 1 percentage point shareholding shall be deemed to be held by 10 individual shareholders. Q. Have its share registers 100% dematerialized. R. Have a minimum paid-up capital of 1 million Melodi, M1, 000,000. Section 3.1.2. Conditions for listing 1 of 3. Notwithstanding 3.1.1 above and under exceptional circumstances, listing may be granted to 1. A class of securities where less than 20% of that class is in public hands or where the number of shareholders is less than 300, provided that the applicant company undertakes to increase the shareholding in public hands to 20%, and the number of shareholders to 300, or more within the first 2 years of admission, failing which the company's listing may be suspended or withdrawn. 2. A percentage of a class of securities lower than 20%, if the market will operate properly with a lower percentage in view of the large number of shares of the same class and the extent of their distribution to the public. Section 3.1.2. Conditions for listing 2 of 3. 3. A class of securities where MSM, at its discretion and with the approval of the registrar, accept a minimum percentage in public hands of 10%. In the case of an issuer with an expected market capitalization of over 100 million Melodi, M100 million, at the time of listing, provided that the issuer undertakes to increase the shareholding in public hands to 15%, not later than the end of the 2nd year of listing, and to 20%, not later than the end of the 5th year of listing. 4. An applicant without a proven track record, provided it submits to the MSM a sound business plan, certified by an independent financial advisor regulated by registrar and approved by the MSM, covering at least 3 years and demonstrating clearly the sustained viability of the applicant company. Section 3.1.2. Conditions for listing 3 of 3. Forecasted financial report must be prepared by a reporting accountant and must include confirmation that the forecast or estimate has been properly compiled on the basis stated, and that it is presented on a basis consistent with the accounting policies of the company in question. The applicant company shall also prominently disclose risk factors involved,